It's me again, Mama. Ooh, tell the truth, Mama, tell the truth. And I am. How y'all doing today? Well, you know what's on my mind today? I was thinking about BOBBI KRISTINA. You know, that thing took me real hard when we lost her mama, Whitney. You know, that was real hard for me. I think I kind of lost it that day. That's what they tell me anyway. They tell me I lost it when I heard Whitney had that incident in the bathtub and died. That was very difficult. I was hoping and been praying for Whitney for years that God would come into her life, and he was in her life. That she would receive him with her whole heart. That's what I was praying, that she would receive him, and that he would turn her around and make a new thing out of her, and that she would begin to praise him and worship him and make a ton of beautiful gospel music for praising the Lord, you know. And that's what I was hoping for. But that was sad, and so Whitney passed, and then, you know, BOBBI KRISTINA ended up with all of that money. And the next thing you know, BOBBI KRISTINA is talking about, you know, marrying this young man that was in their house that was kind of like a stepson to Whitney. I don't understand how he got into the Whitney household or how that arrangement came about. But, you know, the next thing you know, he's proposing to BOBBI KRISTINA and trying to do all he can. I'm sure he was trying to do all he can to get her pregnant so he could stay in the money. But the thing that interests me, that I thought was, you know, when I heard it on the television the other day about him, it seemed like he took some pages out of Bobby Brown's book. As soon as Christina and him hooked up and he moved in with BOBBI KRISTINA, and put that ring on her finger, they got a reality show. Now, I know BOBBI KRISTINA didn't sign up for no reality show, but that's one of the pages. This boy, I forget what his name is. I don't even think I really knew what his name is. I've seen him. He looked like he was all right and everything. You'd think you'd be kind of surprised that, you know, he kind of devious and was doing the kind of stuff he was doing. And, you know, now he's, you know, acting like he's all drugged out and don't know what's going on. And I really do kind of think that's an act. Maybe he is really drugged out. But I think it's all part of a master plan. I'm going to get to that a little bit later. But anyway, so they start doing this reality show, him and BOBBI KRISTINA. I recall after Whitney had died, and after the television show came out about Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown was sitting there on the interview because he liked to get in front of the camera as much as he can. You know, I can't imagine why they would want to pay him to sit up and talk, you know, about Whitney, but that's part of the legacy, you understand? So he's still making money off of Whitney sitting up in front of those TV cameras talking about it. And so what Bobby Brown said about the reality show that had Whitney in it, and when BOBBI KRISTINA was a little girl, he said every time he looked at those shows, he started laughing because it's funny to him. Now that let me know right then and right there that he didn't really love Whitney, because nobody could look at that reality show and think that it was funny, looking at the condition that Whitney Houston was in and how bad and way down low in the drug addiction she was. But to him, when he looks at it, it's funny. That let you just know how he really felt about Whitney Houston. He didn't love her at all. He couldn't have loved her at all. And I don't care what nobody said. Her life took a turn for the worse when she hooked up with Bobby Brown. Now everybody say, oh, she was doing drugs already, and she may have been. But when she hooked up with Bobby Brown, it took a turn for the worse. And that's for real. Everybody can see that. Any fool would know it just by, you just stand on the outside and look at all the craziness and her getting up to that microphone, calling him the king of R&B and all this other mess, and how far down she got. She wasn't down like that before Bobby Brown. And of course, when you get these people who come into your life who want to use you, part of it is taking control of you. And one of the way they take control of you, if they get you all hooked up and deeper into drugs, they got control of you. You know, I imagine he was on drugs too, but he wasn't way down low like her. And then he had to say, "Come on, let's do this, baby. Let's take some coke, let's do this." And he have to take it too if he gonna encouraged her to take it, so he was also have to take it himself. He got to indulge because he encouraging her to take it because he want to keep her under submission to him while he use and abuse her and use up her money and her, and live that fabulous life that, that Whitney Houston lifestyle afforded him. So now we jump forward to BOBBI KRISTINA. I know it was devastating when her mama left her because Whitney kept tight reins on BOBBI KRISTINA. You never saw Whitney and BOBBI KRISTINA together when she didn't have a hand or arm around her daughter. She was very protective about her daughter. You never saw her where she wasn't touching her daughter with either her arm around her or they were holding hands, and it looked like she didn't go anywhere unless she took her daughter with her. So she was a very protective mama. And so all of a sudden your protection is gone. Your mama, who was there for you and probably weighed in on everything that you did, she's gone now. And that was a huge void in this young girl's life. She was only 21 years old at the time it happened. And the time when they found her in the bathtub, they say she's 24 now. And now she's in a hospice. But they said when they found her in the tub, she was face down. Now, to me, that means that either somebody put her in there and was holding her down, or in the water, or maybe I don't know. If she fell down face down into the tub, staggered into the bathtub? I don't know how it happened, but I think it sounds suspicious to me. That's what I think. It sounds suspicious. And they need to pull in that boy, and they need to start asking him some questions, because he trying to act like he's so under the drugs and he don't know anything and can't remember nothing and don't know what he's doing. But I think it's all a master plan. That's what I think. Because I think he realized that if she died, which evidently going to happen now that they done pulled all the plugs on her. And that devious Bobby Brown, he was in court suing the family, trying to keep some control over BOBBI KRISTINA. And as long as she was alive and on that machine, and he being her daddy, he was like number one honcho. But Whitney wasn't no fool. When she wiped him out of her life, when she wiped Bobby Brown out of her life, she wiped him out of her life, because she wrote up all those papers. Did everything go to her mama, and it went to her daughter. But in the case that something happened to her daughter, it was hooked up for her mama. Now Whitney loved her mama. That's how I know she didn't commit suicide. Everybody was trying to say she committed suicide. I knew Whitney wouldn't have committed suicide. First of all, Whitney knew the Lord. Anybody who know him to that kind of level, like I know Whitney Houston did, because she grew up in the church up under her mama, she know that you cannot commit suicide and believe you're going to be in heaven and that you a child of the Lord. No, that's not going to happen. You commit suicide, you going to be condemned and going down to hell. That's just the way it is, because you listening to what the devil told you to do. He want all of us to be killed, steal, and destroyed. So if he can destroy you and kill you all at the same time, and he was destroying Whitney Houston, because based upon everything that they said, Whitney was getting ready to go back down that road into drugs. But God said no. And he took her out before she fell as low as she had been before. And I just thank God, because he's a marvelous God. And evidently he loved Whitney too much, like he loved all of us. He loved her too much to let us see her go down that road and people make a mockery of her once again. And he already knew that probably if she went down that road again, she might not even come back, like she rebounded back this last time and made this that CD, that last CD that she made. That last album, she makes some statements in it when she talk about she didn't know her own strength. And I think to myself, our strength is not our own, Whitney. Our strength comes from the Lord. The Lord gave you strength. He's the one who empowered you, and he got you up out of that mess and cleaned you up and brought you back into center stage. It was his strength. But now she gone, and I miss Whitney, and I miss that dynamic and beautiful voice. We'll never have another Whitney Houston, like we won't have another Muhammad Ali, and we'll never have another Michael Jordan, though he's still here and Ali's still here. But there'll never be, there's greats and there's greater, and they were greater than probably anybody will ever be again. But BOBBI KRISTINA, sadly, if this would just break Whitney hard if she saw what has become of her daughter. What has become of her daughter. And I don't believe that anybody could have stopped it. And I believe they tried. I believe those Houstons tried to stop it. But they couldn't, because she had her own mind, and her mind was made up. And I know that eventually, it's going to be very soon, because she's in a hospice. And a hospice is for days and maybe for a month or maybe for a couple of months. But they intend for you to go on and on and on living. And just like Whitney Houston, Mama said, Thelma Houston, she's in the hands of the Lord. Now the Lord can turn any situation around. And he can bring Bobbi Kristina off of that bed of affliction and out of that state of coma with a full and upright mind, of a mind that is operative and not in vegetation state like she in now. But he can right her mind and make her mind thinkable and workable, and her body functioning again like it's supposed to function. That's God. He can do anything but fail. But if he does not, and she passes, and they waiting on, to see what's going to happen, they believe that she's going to pass. And it just makes it for a very sad ending to a very sad story in the life of Whitney Houston, and the slow demise of her daughter, who seemed, if indeed it wasn't an accident, like she wanted to duplicate how her mother went out of here. My Lord, well, this has been Mama Tell the Truth. Yeah, Mama gonna tell the truth. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna tell the truth. And sometimes, the truth hurt. And sometimes it's painful. And sometimes it's very sad. I feel for the Houston family. I can't really say that I feel that much for Bobby Brown, because I think of him as being a user and abuser. Maybe you don't. But I can see the pitfalls that he brought Whitney into. And it led to the pitfall that his daughter fell into. Because I'm clear and certain that boy took some pages out of Bobby Brown's book when he brought in that reality show, because I don't think Bobbi Kristina brought that in on her own, and he was making money off of that, and he was trying to do whatever he could do, and and keep her under submission. And they said he was beating her and abusing her and everything else. But I think that that the truth will come to light, because that's what biblical texts say. It's going to come to light. And they, and probably maybe the family is waiting on if she passed, they're gonna file suit against that boy, and bring him to jail, and make sure that justice handle him, because as many drugs and whatever he want to do and pretend, I don't believe he should get away with it if he had a hand in what happened to Whitney Houston daughter, Bobbi Kristina Brown. God bless you. Until the next time, it has been Mama. Yeah, Mama, tell the truth. Mama, tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth, and I want you to start telling the truth too. The truth is a good thing to begin to tell. Now, if you've been telling stories all of your life, or you've been telling half-truths, I want you right now to make up in your mind you want to start telling the truth, because the truth is good. And we cannot lie, because the Bible tells us, one of the 10 commandments, that thou shalt not lie or bear false witness against thy neighbor. Until the next time.